One of the things I love most about D&D is the storytelling. It's not just people sitting around a table rolling dice, but it's about people telling stories together about courage, hope, sacrifice, and so much more. These themes for me connect with something much more important and much deeper than just the game. That's my faith. Today, I want to talk about why faith and storytelling matter so much to me as a dungeon master and a player, and why the stories matter on a much deeper level than sometimes we realize. All throughout history, humans have connected through storytelling. Most of the early history, even of our world, was through verbal stories and verbally telling people the history of things that happened. Storytelling is in our nature. It's what binds us together. It brings everybody closer together because anytime you're going out with friends or anyone else, you're always going to sit around telling stories. The stories we tell in D&D talk about the differences between good and evil, the war between them. The stories we tell talk about courage and sacrifice and redemption and hope. Meaningful stories that really matter to us. When it comes to Christianity, a big part of that is storytelling. We know that the Bible is all true. But we also know that Jesus Christ himself spoke in parables. He spoke in stories to help people understand. He knew that we understood storytelling. Sometimes we need it to really connect with something that's so important to us. At the end of the day, D&D is storytelling. That's all it is. It is cooperative storytelling. Depending on the tables you play, I know a lot of people prefer maybe more crunchier games and more battle and war heavy, and that's totally fine. But I prefer something a little bit different. I prefer deep stories that are built together with the DM and the players. It shouldn't be the DM against the players. They should be working together to build one unifying story that tells, honestly, the story of the characters and the story that they want to tell. Players get to explore choices, consequences, sacrifice, and a whole lot more in a D&D campaign that focuses on the storytelling. Moments of mercy, sacrifice, and courage will arrive and will show up at a table that's focused on that cooperative storytelling. It's not so much who can tell the best or not so much about who can maybe take control of it, but when everybody at the table works together to tell one really amazing story, those themes are always going to come up. At the end of the day, those are the types of things that we like. It's why we like reading books, watching movies. It's why we even like music because of the story it tells, either from whatever we're watching or listening to, or the story it reminds us of in ourselves. A lot of times there are a lot of assumptions that separate Christians from D&D, but at the end of the day, they can work together. My faith shapes how I think about storytelling and about the meaning behind the stories that I am telling. It's not just so much always about the monsters, although that's a big part of it, but there is something deeper inside of that that we can all learn from. Imagination and storytelling can tell deeper truths than a lot of times we can even realize in the moments. We've all had those moments in a campaign, whether it's a player or a DM, where someone says or does something, or the story is headed a certain way, and you kind of sit back afterwards, you go, "Oh, wow, I didn't realize it," but kind of gives you chills a little bit. A lot of times, those types of stories we resonate with a lot more because they reflect a deeper truth that even though we may not realize or we may not be able to put full words to, we know that it is true. For me, my faith doesn't limit my imagination or my storytelling. If anything, it gives it purpose. There's not just throwing stuff out willy-nilly, but there's an exact purpose behind everything that I'm doing. If nothing else, it keeps me on track when I am DMing or when I'm playing so that there's not just random events that happen all the time. There's a purpose behind everything. That's where the name of my channel comes from, for King and Castle. Everything I get to do for the king. Whether that is D&D or anything else in my life, I get to glorify the God of the universe with everything that I do. For me, my faith and belief in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior is the reason and the purpose behind why I love storytelling so much. And that's a big part about what this channel is about. It's about adventure with purpose. Everything that we do should have a purpose. Everything that I do, the purpose behind it is to glorify God. It's to honor the King. And that's why I get to do the really cool things that I get to do. I hope this gave you guys some insight, and hopefully it helped with just some ideas on how to focus storytelling as well. Make sure you like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. Drop videos every Tuesday. I'd love to hear about any sort of questions or any problems maybe you have at your table. Drop it in the comments below, and maybe that'll be next week's topic. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'd love to hear any feedback, any questions again. Thank you guys so much. Hope to see you guys next week.